season as both of these programs try to make an early statement and build that resume. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Auburn Tigers, Jordan-Hare Stadium, as we'll see the number 18 team in the country, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, taking on the 22nd ranked team in the land, the Auburn Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. It'll come out to the 25, no attempt at a return. Looking for room, it's Robinson. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27. Let's talk for a second about Auburn. They lose in the semis last year. Any potential for a hangover this season?
I don't think so, and I think they obviously didn't finish last season the way they wanted to, but having the success they had, David, that opened the eyes to a lot of portal players around the country. They wanted to come here knowing they could build on that and take the next step.
And sometimes it takes those steps, Jesse. Like, you've got to crawl before you walk, and this team, they tasted it. They know what it feels like. They know what it's like to be in the playoffs, and they want more. And they get to take some anger out and some hard feelings out today to start this season.
Wants to throw. It's Knight. Fires to the middle. Intercepted, and the first drive ends with a pick. He didn't get a lot on the return, but, man, he set his offense up at the 30.
Man, that's not the attempt you wanted to start the game. First pass of the game, interception. Man, this is where you go to the sidelines. You have a good talk with your coach. You settle down. It's not the end of the world. It's one pass, but that is not the start he had in mind today.
Not much room. A pickup of 2 down to the 28.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Leaves it with the back. Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19.
And, you know, big chunks like this don't happen unless you commit to the run game. You got to get those big boys up front into the game, understanding I want to knock people off the football, create some holes like you do here for my running back, make the game easy.
So first down in the red zone, and this crowd getting behind its defense. To the air on first down. The throw. Gets it out quickly. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. Fired in from the red zone for the score. They're on the board first here in the season opener. The offense did exactly what it's supposed to do with a start like that one.
When you're set up with that field position, you're thinking touchdowns. You're not thinking field goals. It's exactly what the offense does. Takes advantage of great field position.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Grabbed over the middle, and Simmons. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Dropping back, it's Knight. That's caught. It's Robinson. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Guys, let's chat a little big picture Auburn. At some point, with all of the transfer portal talk and guys going in and out, you can score one for continuity with this ball club. Breaks into the open. Oh, what a big play for this offense as they get it to the 33-yard line.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
The Tigers come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Lost a throw on first down. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
That's how you blow up the screen pass if you're on defense. You got to hit the quarterback fast and force the incompletion.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions, you've given up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz, because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
They were on the move, but 2 straight incompletions had them staring at 3rd and 10. It's incomplete, and I tell you, this sophomore quarterback's lucky to get that one back.
And you just wonder if the quarterback's trying to get it all back after throwing a pick the last time out. This time, that was not a good read. The defender was all over that throw. He should have intercepted that, but thanks to the drop, the offense stays on the field. This quarterback has got to take a breath, and he's got to settle himself down.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man, just go for it every time. Like, the field goal miss, make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
And the Huskers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Scanning the field, it's Raiola. The quarterback's a little more on target there. Maybe they hook up, but it's an incompletion.
But how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense, because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
Wants to go up top. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down. The Cornhuskers will send out the punt unit. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They've taken a couple of punches to the jaw, and now they'll try to get this offense going down a couple of touchdowns. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down, 2nd down coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Active hands from the defense forcing that incomplete pass.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
Oh, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
Caught in the backfield, it's Mills. He's really close to that 1st down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
I like the slot receiver because he gives his quarterback a good option working the middle of the field. He's a nice weapon in this offense.
This Auburn crowd trying to conjure up a little magic here on 3rd down. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Huskers will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, it's Raiola. That's reeled in, it's Mills. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a 1st down.
Well, the defense did a nice job taking everything away down the field, but once the drag route was caught, they just couldn't rally to the ball carrier in time to make a tackle, and as a result, new set of downs.
Looking to throw on 1st down. The sure hands, it's Ives. He snagged him, but he'll be stopped short of the 1st down. Good, solid pickup on that play. Reached the break. It's Nebraska holding the lead. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Lots of time left and ready to go back at it here in the 2nd quarter. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with 2nd down. Motion from the wide receiver. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, 2nd and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the 1st himself. Now it's 3rd down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
This is the type of play that decides games. Are you tough enough to convert 3rd and short from the 30? There he goes! Inside the 20-yard line. Pushed out at the 18, and they're in business.
All right, defense. It ain't working, right? We're stringing together several 1st downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
Noses his way forward, maybe gets one. They'll mark it at the 18.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Right back to it. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
To the air, it's Raiola. It's complete to the left. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down. Just not able to shake enough defenders and comes up a little bit short.
And I think a lot of times on third down, Reese, you bet on your guy. When you're an offensive guy, you say, okay, he's going to break a tackle, he's going to get north and south and somehow get the first down. Nice tackling by the defense, understanding where they had to get to and forcing the fourth down.
They'll try to put 3 on the board as the field goal unit comes on. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. And he kept that one just straight enough to graze inside the left upright. And that lead grows even bigger.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. So here comes the Auburn offense. They really need to find a way to generate some kind of offense down 10-0. He'll do it himself. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks. And the Tigers come to the line trying to find a way to convert on 3rd and very short. To the ground to try to pick up the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, the running back did a nice job there, keeping his feet moving. He was able to drag some defenders with him to get that first down.
The Tigers will have it 1st and 10. Looking for a man, it's Knight. He's going for it all. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary. You saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. From the shotgun, the inside give. They'll give him a couple. That leaves him with 3rd and 8. Trying to pick up a first down. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Got a man, it's Simmons. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first. Auburn sends out the punting unit. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get...
Oh, he's got some space. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
The defense has their hands full trying to stop this guy in the slot. They're going to have to figure something out to bracket him, try and get 2 bodies around him, maybe get some safety help as well, because right now they do not have the answer for this guy.
And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
They'll go to the ground.
And I think that might be an example of the running back maybe trying to do a little bit too much. Everybody wants to try to bounce the ball outside to hit the home run, but in college football at this level, you just need to do a better job taking what the defense gives you.
Oh, this crowd wants it. They want to roll Toomer's corner, but right now they want to stop on 3rd down. We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. Looking downfield, it's Raiola. Now he's going to break the pocket. Oh, the big fella almost had the interception. Instead, it'll be 4th down. And the Huskers will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll field the punt. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. They'll crank up this drive from the 30-yard line. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Caught in the backfield, it's Robinson. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the...
Intercepted! A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
And this is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
They take over late and have enough time to put together a drive. They'll start this drive with a pass. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. And to get rid of it quickly.
Get the quarterback off the spot. Make him flush from the pocket. Put a good hit on him. Check, check, check. You want to do everything you can to make the QB uncomfortable. The defense did all 3 of those on this play and finished it off with a nice lick, nice physical play on the quarterback.
Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing.
This defense knew they had a tall task playing against this Heisman caliber quarterback, and the best way to affect him is with pressure. They were able to hit him on that play, and that forced the incompletion.
Looking for a man. It's Raiola. Makes the grab. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. And they're running out the kicker to give it a try. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The Cornhuskers will try to pin them back with the punt. Punt goes out of bounds, and a really nice job as they stick them deep in their own end. They'll mark it around the 10. Opening play of this drive comes from the 11. Looking downfield on 1st down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. This one's complete. And they get to him and knock him down to prevent a big gain. The offense will quickly use a timeout.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
The Tigers come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Dropping back, it's Knight. Soft spot in the middle. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. The offense burns its 3rd and final timeout of the half. Auburn ready to go back to work after getting another first down. Looking to throw on first down. Here comes the heat. Got his man to the left. Brought down at the 47-yard line after the 15-yard pickup. To the air on first down. Just a hair too much on it from this big-armed sophomore quarterback.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Wants to throw. They'll have to be efficient against the clock. The safe call on the wide receiver screen. Makes a grab and knocked down, and he's got it at the 25-yard line.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-huddle.
And the defense making a play and getting a hand on that pass.
Tips, deflections, those are such good things for defense. A lot of times they lead to interceptions and big plays. Just try to get any kind of disruption you can.
On second down, he'll try to make the connection this time. It's complete. And the defense doesn't let him get loose, and that's going to wrap things up here in the half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Just about set here in the second half as Auburn about to kick it off. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. Going to the run to start this second half. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
The give to the back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. This Auburn crowd trying to conjure up a little magic here on third down. Looking to throw, it's Raiola. And they fail to hook up on third down.
And look, I know this offense made some adjustments at halftime. They couldn't wait to get back out on the field and try to generate a score. But their defense is playing lights out. So to me right now, this is a no-brainer. After the incompletion on third, just punt it away and let your defense eat.
And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. And points have been hard to come by in this one. They'll try to put together a drive. Turning it on. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down.
It's so nice as an offense to know you can generate explosive plays by handing the football off to this guy. He has got incredible speed. They're
down to the 35 on 1st and 10. Wants to throw on first down. Caught in the backfield. It's Simmons. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
Man, on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
And the Tigers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Throws to the wideout. He's got it. And he'll be smacked to the ground.
Nice job there. Good timing between the QB and the wide receiver executing that out route.
The Tigers come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. Looking to throw, it's Knight. Tight coverage and an incomplete pass. The defense knocks it away and forces a 4th down.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, back to your game in a moment, but first we have to show you how the script is being written here. Texas State is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This program has picked itself up before, and it's capable of it again today. They're trailing by 10 to Baylor. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the...
Breaks into the open. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Looking to throw on first down. Trying to burn this defensive back. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, it's a great job by the back end of the defense that time, making up for what the front end of the defense couldn't do. The quarterback had all day to throw that ball, but it was the hit and coverage that forces the incompletion.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there, but on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
Get it out on the screen. He's out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
I'm not sure this was ever a real decision. They'll go for it on 4th and inches. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. Desperately wanted to convert on 4th down, but couldn't do it. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They haven't really been able to light up this scoreboard, but putting points up would be huge here.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
gives it on the option. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
And those little runs, man, they don't look great in the box score, but I love when an offense stays on schedule. It makes those third downs more manageable, easier, harder to attack me now from the defensive perspective trying to get to me. So it's an easy, simple play for this offense, but I love it.
They convert on third down as he gets it to the 46-yard line.
Shotgun fundamentals are so key. He was like a shortstop, caught the shotgun snap, and right away rifled it out of his hands like he was turning two. That was beautiful.
Grabbed in the middle. It's Griffin. Chopping up this defense, and they've got it all the way down to the 23.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you can tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
This Auburn offense doing work. They're set up with another first down. They'll send the back in motion. Using his feet. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Tight end finds a soft spot. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
They say tight ends are a quarterback's best friend in the pass game because think about it. The tight end's the guy lined up closest to the quarterback, which means generally those are the easiest throws a quarterback has. You saw it on that play.
Here's the handoff. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Auburn! Follow the block. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, it's Raiola. Finds his tight end. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
This is a tight end that not only is going to play with his hand in the ground, but he can line up in the slot as well and attack the defense vertically. He's too fast for linebackers to cover, and he's too big for DBs to cover. He's a real weapon in this offense.
And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the first. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. From the gun, running back gets to give. Gets it past the marker. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run, get the juices going, and I bet you he's going to get a few more touches today.
And not much going on downfield. You just get rid of it and live to play another down.
Another incompletion, and I've said that a lot, and these teams are just struggling. I mean, the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working. Ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
Caught behind the line. It's Mills. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds. As we take a look at the stats. We've swapped sides of the field, and we are ready for the finish as the fourth quarter gets underway. After swapping ends of the field, they gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on third down. Back to pass, it's Raiola. Fires to the wideout. And the third down pass incomplete after a good deflection by the defense.
Oof, you got to be careful if you're the quarterback there. Third down, you see a lot of exotic coverages by the defense. That time they played zone, and he tried to force that football into a real tiny window. He's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
What a terrible, terrible shame. No return possible on this one. It goes out of bounds, and they'll mark it right around the 30-yard line. So here comes the Auburn offense. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now, there he goes. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and they are rolling.
And the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield to make that tackle for loss. That was impressive.
Snagged in the middle, it's Kane. And he's brought down after a nice game.
And when you run those drag routes, it just takes a little bit of know-how. And when I say that, the receiver's got to understand, find space. My quarterback's going to find me. He's looking for that space at the same time. Nice throw, nice catch. Way to get the first down.
The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes. He's got some speed. And if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Rides to back and leaves it. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Well, you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. That time the defense called it at the perfect time. The linebacker able to make the stop on a short game.
And from the offense's perspective, that's probably making a little something out of nothing. Let's see what they do on third down. Looking to pass. It's Knight. Using the quick game. He's there to make the stop, but not before. He sets up this offense first and goal from the 7.
So nice when you're an offense and you get in these third and shorts and you know the defense has to be aggressive, has to commit guys up front, especially in the red zone area. Nice job by this offense.
Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. They move on top here in the 4th. They'll try to add another to their lead.
Nice pitch and catch. This receiver and quarterback have done this thousands of times. Finds the open man, throws a strike. The receiver does the rest, gets him in the end zone.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
Love the awareness by the defense here. They're trying to get the running back the ball in space, but the defense was expecting it. They had guys in position. They located the football, and they went and game tackled.
Flushed out of the pocket. They get enough rush, and it pays off the sack at the 20.
That defender is a matchup nightmare for any offensive lineman to block. He's got athleticism, he's got length, he's got flexibility. He put it all on display on that side.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Looking down the middle. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab.
Man, I love the catch radius on this guy. If you just put it somewhere near his body, he's going to be able to reel it in. That was a phenomenal job, showing you his athleticism and also his concentration, making that outstanding grab.
We've got a timeout from the kicking team. And here we go, down a score. They'll go for it on 4th down. Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. The Huskers line up to punt it away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. High and away, headed toward the sideline, just the way he drew it up. Quick release on the RPO. Oh, he's got some space. And he'll be run out of bounds, and these guys are piling up some serious yardage totals.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? This is what got this team in this position to win this game. Aggressive offense, taking shots. Here we are in the 4th quarter. They've got the lead. Why stop now?
And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22.
Well, the defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage at the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
The Tigers, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. Smart move to keep it on the ground. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. Trying play action. Pulls it in. It's Griffin. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the 1st down.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
I know you took a loss on 1st down there trying to run the football, but you've got the lead, and you've got to continue to run the football. And this is a big challenge now for your offensive line. Those guys up front, you've got to find a way against a defense that knows you're going to do it.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, looking for the score. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. It's 3rd and goal and 3rd and long.
Get set, get set.
He'll pull it on the read. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. Tried to give it enough body English, but he missed it. And the margin remains at 7 after the miss. To the air, it's Raiola. Here's the pressure. And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but 2nd down coming.
And, man, I love safeties that play with great vision in the back end, right? They're the safety for a reason. They're the back line of defense 99% of the time. And I love how he sees the ball, he breaks on it. This defense, they have an opportunity to finish this game. They've played well all game long. Now finish the deal.
He's got an open man. Turning it on. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41. He's got it on the right, and he runs through one tackle and picks up a few. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. 2nd down, clock's running. To keep it in the air. Looking left. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming. And the Huskers come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. third down. Caught near the sticks. It's Ives. Now well within striking distance as that third down play gets him a first at the 29. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. In search of that tying touchdown. They've moved the chains a couple of times. It's 1st and 10 again. Caught over the middle. It's Parker. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down. To the air, it's Raiola. Firing to the right, complete. Great job in this 2-minute drill as he gets out of bounds, keeping the clock on their side as they're trying to pull it out.
What a great individual effort here in this 2-minute situation. He makes the catch in the middle of the field. He knows he's got to find a way to stop the clock. The only way to do that is to get out of bounds. He uses his speed and his vision, and he's able to elude the defense to save some time.
They're working that left side. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running. Wants to go up top. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, guys, fourth quarter, you're trailing. You know that they're going to be throwing the ball and trying to be aggressive and trying to climb back into this one. Couldn't come up with it there on second down. Let's see what happens on third.
This crowd knows this defense needs them right now. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Got it! And he will score! Touchdown, Huskers!
And they desperately needed that touchdown. Now it's miracle time. We got to kick this onside kick and somehow find a way to boot a long field goal and maybe win this thing at the buzzer.
And they'll go for 2 to try to win it right here, and this crowd is deafening, trying to will the stop. He is in, and they roll the dice, won't settle for the tie, and they take the lead with a 2-point conversion. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking downfield, it's Knight. A deep throw as the clock winds down. The pass is incomplete, and the clock will stop with 5 seconds left.
Really nice job there by the safety back in the middle of the field. You see his range and the speed. He's able to close on the ball and then knock it away. Nice play.
Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. Unloads to the wideout. A strike downfield. And that will be in the final play as the clock strikes 0 here. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads, hotly contested battle all the way to the very end.
Yeah, we came into this one expecting this to be a back-and-forth battle. We knew it was going to go down late into the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, the higher-ranked team, David, they were really able to lean on those playmakers and that leadership they've got in the locker room.
Yeah, and now I think even more so, you're starting to believe in them. They're battle-tested. This team they find a way to get things done. That's why they're ranked where they're at. And I expect this team to stay in contention for the college football playoff because they're proving week in and week out they're a really good squad.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.